Gabe Cohen from CNN. Can you tell me if the NTSB has reviewed this FAA internal report that has been cited by the New York Times indicating that the controller that was on duty at the time of the crash was doing a job that's usually done by two people?
We have not reviewed any specific reports about the controllers at this time, at least from the leadership team. Our investigators are continuing to pull all that information. Their personnel records, their files, where they were at, whether they were fatigued, all that information will be part of that investigative process. But right now we can't speculate on anything that may have been reported in the media until we get the opportunity to validate and understand how it impacts the investigation. We're going to take just a few more questions.
Follow up on that.
Sir?
Yes, Oren Khan, Beaver Magazine. What's the process and the logistics like of bringing the families in? Are they coming into the airport? And how are you going to sort of do the sensitivity of bringing them to the place where this tragedy happened?
So the question is about the families. And many of those families are still en route. Some are still being notified from both the military and from the commercial crash. There is a family assistance facility that's being stood up by American and PSA Airlines in Bethesda, Maryland. They've already been working on that, standing it up. Our team from our disaster assistance team has also been coordinating with them. We plan on briefing them. It is customary that at some point, if the families wish to go to part of the accident site, that we would arrange such a thing, but it will only be when we know that it's safe, we have the correct perishable evidence, and we can do it in the proper modesty that should be for those family members. It will be a little bit of a process, but it will take some time.
Sir, to follow up on the air traffic control system.
No. Sir, how are you?
I know that Marielle Carbone with DC News now. We've heard from some witnesses that they saw people were able to come down the slides of the plane. Has there been any indication that people made it off the plane or still alive?
Well, again, we will not speak to the fatalities. The D.C. medical examiner will, but I think the D.C. fire chief this morning very succinctly said correctly that we believe there are no survivors.
What's their off the plane? Like, did they even get out of the plane?
Last question.
So, hang on one second. Right now, we're going through the debris fields. Nothing we've seen would indicate that maybe slides or chutes were deployed. There's a very quick, rapid impact. But we've seen nothing in that regard so far from the evidence we have, but we still need to verify all of that information. One more question?
Jeff Cook, ABC News.
Go ahead.
Jeff Cook, ABC News. What do you know about the altitude of the helicopter at the moment of impact? And can you talk about the procedures for such helicopters in that area?
The question was about the helicopter procedures. And in D.C., it's kind of a unique environment. We've been getting briefed more and more by the FAA. I'm not an air traffic control specialist, but they're actually helicopter zones, if you will, or tracks. And this one was transiting, I believe, from track 1 to 4 as part of their normal procedure. If you live in D.C., you see a lot of helicopters going down into this area. So there's a very well-defined system in that regard. As far as altitude, until we get the additional information, we can't validate or basically corroborate any of that until we get more of the electronic data and the data that's on the plane. I do want to clarify one question that also came about cell phones. You know, in today's age and time, a lot of electronics and other devices do contain a lot of different information. We've found on a number of our accidents that we actually are notified through a smartphone that may sense that. As part of our process, we will obviously treat all of the effects of the deceased with dignity. We are already starting to pull that information together. If we feel that it's necessary to find or pull some of that information, we will work with the families and make sure we do it in a manner that's respectful for them and their privacy. But right now, we don't have any plans specifically on that amount, on that area until we need to. Thank you very much.
That guy literally looked like he was butt fucking from behind with some fucking witchcraft,
Board, including from Chair Jennifer Homendy,
just saying.
Who said this is an all-hands
Christopher
on-deck
Robin,
event that they will leave no stone
from the
unturned
Christian Marvel
and will
channel.
conduct a thorough investigation.
I've been fucking raped before. Check out chapter 13. That guy looked like he was butt fucking from behind and playing him like a puppet with some demonic fucking words. Look at that shit that I just recorded. Amen.
today is their first full day on the scene. They have nearly 50 people there. She said they wouldn't get into specific facts, only talk about their